What is the current energy of Virgo at this time? What is the current energy of Virgo at this time? We have 8 of Cups and we have 6 of Wands. Leo and Pisces, or Pisces and Leo. Okay. So Virgo is ready to make a move. They're ready to pretty much ride off into the sunset, start something different. They're looking towards a different venture, a different... In this particular image, there's the shadowy figure. They're looking towards like this new dimension. There's a path carved for them. They have that 1 foot. They have 1 foot on that path, and then, you know, the other foot is still planted, but they're definitely thinking it through and mulling it over. There may not be anything particularly, what's the word I'm looking for? Dire in their current circumstances, or there may not be anything that's too detrimental or tumultuous, but there's something that they're aspiring to, or they're wanting to attain, that's just more than what they have at the moment. With this being the card of cups, you know, it could just be, it could be a stale relationship. It could be just a redundant work life or work life balance, and they're ready to find something that means something more, you know, like they're ready to step into their passion. It could mean many different things depending on your circumstances. But this particular card, if you notice, there's a little canoe or a rowboat sitting here. So the good thing about this card is that, you know, if he makes it halfway and decides, you know what, I don't know if this is for me, you know, there's more than one way out of this situation. You know, he can just hop into the boat and just row down the river and keep going and never look back, you know. But either way, someone is ready to make a move into something or away from something. This person is ready to, for some people, this could be an opportunity like in the creative arts, something like someone is wanting to make or have their big break. They could be a writer, some sort of influencer for some people. And this is, don't take this personally or offensively, but, you know, we're all different, and, you know, and our situations vary. But this could also be something in adult entertainment is what I'm getting. Very strong, and someone is wanting to make their name, like, you know how we have the adult sites like the OnlyFans. Well, it's not an adult site, but it's an avenue for adult entertainers. So something like that, like they're trying to like get more followers or something. And someone is, you know, as far as their work life, they're wanting to be, or they feel like they're not getting the recognition they deserve. And this could also be a relationship where this person feels like they're not getting the recognition they deserve in this situation. I'm getting, there could be like an absent parent, or someone who is like what do you call it? The non-custodial parent, who feels like they're trying their best, but the custodial parent is not giving them any credit or letting them see their kid. Like, that's just something that randomly came to me, and they feel like they deserve more, to be seen more and heard more. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper and see what's going on with Virgo. Thank you, Spirit. Can we please clarify the 8 of Cups and 6 of Wands for Virgo? One more. We have the Strength card, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's some fire here. There's a lot of fire here, actually. And then we have Leo. This is about, well, this Strength card, of course, it's about not letting the obstacles or challenges defeat you. It's about taking the lessons from these challenges and hindrances and flipping them and learning from them and knowing, how to navigate a little better. It's about not letting anyone take you out of your high vibe. And it's about being able to curb those the negative instincts that are within us sometimes when a situation is not going to our, or is not working in our favor. So it's about being strong through this process, because there has been like a test of will, but that's all a part of the plan karmically. I feel like there are dues that have been paid, and it's time for your comeuppance in a good way. Like it's time to get your just due from the work and effort you've put in, and from the dues you've paid. And a lot of times, I say that it doesn't necessarily mean that you've been like breaking your back and like just working physically hard, but it means like sometimes we pay dues karmically. It's just through our circumstances and situations. It's like after dealing with so much, trying your best, and you continue to kind of fall off, or you try your best and you feel like you're taking one step forward and two steps back. It's the universe saying, okay, I see you, you're putting in your efforts. Maybe your work and efforts have not gotten you to the tier that you would like, or that it feels like others have gotten to and you have not, but I still see you putting in just as much effort and time. And so it's time for you to now receive what the universe has for you. The Six of Wands energy. Can I please clarify the Six of Wands and this Wheel of Fortune, please? Please clarify the Six of Wands and Wheel of Fortune for Virgo. Okay, so we have Seven of Cups, which in this particular Seven of Cups, we have a figure or a shadowy figure, and they're in a state of manifestation. They're romanticizing, they're envisioning, and their mental acuity is so intense and so strong that they're holding off the tides. Like they're standing at the bottom of the sea floor or ocean floor, and the tides are suspended. That's how powerful and it's powerful, and it's and how strong of a passion that they have to acquire these things, to attain these things. And the thing is about this card, it's like, if you can kind of channel that energy, this energy that has put these ties on standstill, into something tangible, into actual works and efforts, that would be a super force to reckon with. And I feel like this is spirit just challenging you to get out of your head space and start taking the efforts. Just start doing a little bit. Don't feel like, okay, well, this hasn't worked out in the past, so maybe this isn't for me. If it's something that you really want, then you need to continue. Even if you fall 100 times, it'll be that 101st time that pays off in a big way and will totally compensate for all of those failures. So I'm feeling like someone needs to put it into practice. And that's where this Strength card comes in, and this is Scorpio, by the way. I don't really get too big on elemental because, of course, we're comprised of so many different things, as are the people that we deal with on a day-to-day. But just for your information, this is Scorpio. But yeah, this person is envisioning, like, I mean, their houses, their jewels. So this could be someone who is just tired of working and feeling like they're working for nothing just to make ends meet or pay the bills, or they're ready to get abundance kind of on another level. They're ready to fully reap the rewards, and I feel like Spirit is giving them the green light. I feel like Spirit is saying, I see you, I feel you, continue to do your part, and these ripple effects, even though you don't feel them or see them, they're happening. There's a lot of people that are kind of up the hierarchy as far as like, I mean, we're all on the same level, but I mean, as far as like people that are like financially set or have attained a certain success in business matters or in just acquiring the things that they want, like the more materialistic things, they've gone through just as much, if not more, than you have, but it's just about, they've cut the cord of doubt and they've actually started putting in the works and efforts to achieve them. And they didn't give up after a couple of failures or rejections or whatever the case may be. You're going to have a lot of doors slammed in your face. You're going to have a lot of people negate your ambition or try to count you out or discount you. Just keep going. You're on the right track. Whenever those challenges happen, just know you're on the right track, because nothing like this ever comes easy. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. What action does Virgo need to take at this moment? Going a little deeper. What action does Virgo need to take at this moment for the best outcome in their situation? What action does Virgo need to take at this moment for the best outcome in their situation? So yeah, for some people, I'm feeling like this could be, I don't know. I'm thinking that this is something, again, like it's about an arrival. It's about success in some endeavor. And for some people, it could be about, a relationship. Like maybe they want a partner to share in this with. I'm not so sure though. I feel like for some people, they're walking away from maybe a relationship of some kind. It's like there's some love there, but it's still a very apathetic attitude to it. Like it's not, it feels stuck, like it's not going anywhere. This High Priestess energy, and this Two of Disc energy is what we have. We have some water energy. We have Capricorn as well, this Earth energy. Of course, this High Priestess is about finding your higher purpose, your higher calling. This High Priestess, I don't think she's necessarily, like she hasn't been like this perfect specimen all of her life. I feel like it's the experiences that have shaped her. And it's like she sees things from a different perspective. Like she doesn't look at it. She doesn't see things in the 3D. I mean, she does, because we do live in a 3D world. So she understands that these are all things that are happening within this world. But we are in the world, not of it. And I feel like the High Priestess is kind of a testament to that. Like she's about, again, finding her highest purpose, her highest calling, and walking kind of in that high vibe, seeing beyond the surface. And again, like we say, understanding the lessons and the things that we're going through that are shaping us for our optimum gratification, something that'll be long lasting. So sometimes when it feels like we're being challenged at every corner, or it feels like there are obstacles against us, really tap into what's going on at that moment. Like, be observant, like what's happening, and kind of, because I feel like it's how do I want to word this? And it sounds so cliche, but when people, there's a lot of instant gratification out here. There are people that seem to just like get rich or just blow up out of nowhere. But you would be surprised at how many, and it seems really like, if you're not at that place, it feels really hard to conceive that there is someone who is so well off that are still dealing with mental struggles and spiritual struggles and warfare and things like that. It's like they've gotten to a place of success that they're just not ready for. They're not able to handle. They don't know how to navigate. They're squandering it. They're not fully appreciative, or don't, there are just so many people out there that have quote unquote arrived, but still don't know what to do, in this type of facet, because they haven't been spiritually fed. They haven't really, taken the time to get to kind of strengthen their spiritual acuity. And in some situations, there are people who have never had to deal with anything. Like, they're completely oblivious to the world around them. But I feel like a lot of your experiences have shaped you, and they're going to continue to shape you. And when you finally receive this reward, once you finally manifest these goals, it's going to be such a great payoff for you at the end, and you're going to be able to fully bask in everything, and in seeing this like, in looking back at this very long path that you've had to kind of meander in order to get to this place. You're going to appreciate the outcome so much more. This Two of Discs is just telling us to stay tactful, stay in great. Like, if you notice in this particular image, you have these two, I would say I'm not going to say they're little girls, maybe preteens, teenagers, but they're in a very pretty intense situation. But if you notice, they have on their little tutus, every hair is in place, and they're kind of doing this balancing act on these very thin wires. It looks very effortless. They're making it look very effortless. They're pristine, like they have it down packed. Obviously, common sense tells us that if they make one false move, it's going to be a pretty devastating turn of events. I mean, we're not really sure how high up they are, but even if they're not that high up, I mean, something's going to get broken. And if it's very high up, then, it's going to be even more of a dire situation. But they're not thinking about that because they know that they're kept. They know that they have what it takes to keep this synchronicity going, to keep this in play until they make their escape off of this wire, until they are let down from this situation they're in, or until they come down, until someone comes to help assist them off of this wire. Or simply, I mean, and we're probably overthinking it, because literally all they have to do is just kind of cascade over to the left or right, and then they'll be on solid ground. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty much indicating to me, and it's funny because I'm talking through this as I'm like talking to you guys, but yeah, so even though it is a pretty intense situation, it'll soon be over, because all you have to do is just kind of slide to the right or to the left and just hop off, and I feel like that spirit saying, okay, I have you, just hang on a little while longer. Can I clarify this High Priestess and the Two of Discs for the sign of Virgo? Please clarify the High Priestess and the Two of Discs. One more, the sign of Virgo. Thank you, Spirit. love it when we end on the card of the sign that I'm reading for. So we have Four of Cups. I'm sorry, hold on. We have Four of Cups and we have the Hermit. So there's Cancer and there's Virgo. This Four of Cups is right beneath this High Priestess card. So there's a lot of like stars and the moon and like kind of like it's very intergalactical. Like this imagery is this Four of Cups is kind of synonymous to, of course, like a certain apathy, a certain level of just like it's not enough, I want more. In some cases it's about feeling alone, like no one really understands you, in which case, you know, that little sliver, that's kind of like spirit peeking through saying, you know, you're never really alone. And there's like this rose that's coming up from this ledge, but this shadow, this figure, they're covering up the rose. It's like, okay, this one rose in this completely barren type of landscape, suspended in the air. It's like what do I do with that? You know what I mean? Like, what is that even, like, what can I even do with that right now? So yeah, there is definitely a sense of just feeling alone and feeling like whatever you have is not enough at the moment. Which, you know, we always have to practice gratitude for, you know, every little thing. You know, you have to express gratitude and be grateful for the things that we do have going. There must be something positive. And I know for some people who are really dealing with the brunt of, of just a negative situation, or dealing with the brunt of societal ills, or the things that they feel like they're lacking or don't have or need more of, especially if it's like basic essentials that everyone should have. But I know it's hard to say, okay, well, just be grateful or just be gracious, but just trust me, just start practicing more gratitude karmically, for karmic reasons. But yeah, so I say all that to say that this Four of Cups energy, I feel like in this moment, they are in this kind of state of, what's the word I'm looking for? Because this background, it looks very similar. Like the background of this High Priestess card and the background of this Four of Cups card is very similar. So this is someone just taking time to understand, okay, it's not enough, and it's never going to be enough as long as we are spiritually detached, as long as we're looking at things completely in the 3D and nothing else beyond. So this Hermit card, of course, it's about taking time, well, albeit physical or mental or whatever, or just in theory, but just taking time out to truly reflect on the things that we want out of life, to reflect on the things that we need, that we don't need, to get to know ourselves inside out, to make sure that what we're going after, like if it's a situation that feels like it's getting nowhere, like you've been doing something and it just hasn't been working out, make sure this is something that you're doing from a place of natural desire and fervor, not just something you're doing for instant gratification, because if so, then it's not ever going to be fully fulfilling. Make sure that you know exactly what it is you're aspiring to or trying to attain. So, because if it's convoluted in your brain, then it's going to be kind of convoluted from a spiritual standpoint, and to spirit and to the universe as well. So you have to make a clear assessment of what you want. And when you're and I'm being led to say that when you're manifesting things, you know, you can't like manifest something, set the intentions for something, and then start doubting it, or then start second guessing it, then start like, you know, well, I don't know if I, you know, like being in doubt. You have to be very specific and very assured. And once you put it out there, you have to believe it. You know, you have to believe it to receive it. So just all of that, like it's all kind of enveloped, you know. Just make sure that you are manifesting the right thing for your situation. Make sure it's something that you really want. And if it is, just know that every bump in the road, that's again another lesson. And the next time, if you have to circle back around, you're very much aware of that bump in the road, and you know how to avoid it, or you know how to lighten the impact. So that's the lesson that you would get from that. There's two of this. Again, it'll be over very soon. Just stay in high vibration, intact. Don't let the circumstances you're in make you resort to things that you're not fully wanting to be a part of, or resort to becoming like a lower vibe, or becoming jaded, or anything like that's negative. Just know that when things happen, to still try and stay your best self, even though I know it's not easy, because know that spirit has been keeping you on this wire, and it's like that force, that's been kind of keeping you upright. And now it's like, okay, the reality is starting to set in again. There are outs. You know what I'm saying? There's a way out of this situation. You've probably just been so caught up in trying to keep things balanced and going that it hasn't fully been clear, but there is a way out. And this Wheel of Fortune, that, you're about to receive some great karma. You're about to receive your just due. Just believe that and walk in high vibe and stay there. Whenever this materializes for you, don't lose yourself. I'm being told to say that. Don't stop. Because now you're probably, like a lot of us come to these channels and stuff like that because of, we're trying to seek something that is beyond, because we know that there's more to life than what we can see and feel, but then sometimes people get ahead and then they lose, and then they change, so it's about just staying principled, staying humble. And even when you arrive or get to this pinnacle or precipice, staying in tune to spirit. I'm gonna pull a couple of cards from the Sacred Oracle, Sacred Creators Oracle. I'm gonna get a couple of oracles for the sign of Virgo. Let's wrap this up for the sign of Virgo and surmise this spread. Messages of affirmation, synchronicity, and enlightenment, and direction. Oh, good grief. Soul on Fire is our first one, and Nourish, the Sacred Feminine, is the second one. Give me just a moment. 38. Soul on Fire. How could you expand your current reality so that it would be big enough to house your dream? Cut through the nonsense and the mad babble you've been using to market or describe yourself. Stop trying to dazzle with expert lingo or fancy systems. Drop the facade. Sell them passion, your fire, your dream. If you could bring more infectious enthusiasm to your goal and talk about it from a place of pure passion, what would you say? What would you say? So cut the nonsense. Quit trying to dazzle with expert lingo and all of these, technicalities. Drop the facade and really tap into your fire, your passion. Again, there is a lot of fire in this energy that we've seen. So that's very interesting. If you could bring more infectious enthusiasm to your goal and talk about it from a place of pure passion, what would you say? So yeah, it's about just keeping it real and not trying to be fake or trying to, impress anyone or anything. Well, you have to, if you're trying to get an opportunity, then yes, you have to impress them, but stick to the core, the elemental, the passion, the behind your intent. Nourish the sacred feminine. This is pretty self-explanatory, and even if you're a guy, of course, because we are of course made up of both feminine and masculine energies, and so this is very much for you guys out there as well, if you should happen to drop in. It's nourish the sacred feminine, and I'm gonna let me put this. Like sometimes, as men, and I feel very drawn to say that, men are kind of prodded to stay in their lane, to stay in this one way of thinking, or like it's either one or the other. Like either you're like you have to be either this manly man, or on the other end now, as a society, people are starting to become a little bit more adapting to different lifestyles and stuff like that. But it's like it's like it shouldn't have to be one or the other. It just means that just the part of us that are comprised of that feminine energy, like as a male, the part of us that's, I'm gonna come back to that. Let me just get to this page real quick and let me. It says, what does sacred feminine mean to you? Do you have other ways of naming this energy? And how do you nourish this receptive, intuitive state? Do you tend to favor strategy or intuition? And how do you decide? Inner knowing and the unconscious mind, listening to intuition, showing unconditional love, prophetic dreams, circadian cycles, and phases of the moon, wisdom traditions, co-creation, nurturing, teaching, healing, using your emotions as a guide, facilitating new relationships. So I'm saying that to say, for women as well, of course, but for men, there are certain aspects that are kind of like tied up into the feminine archetype that as men, you have to be able to hone into as well. I know one thing that was mentioned in that book is about, how, you're not supposed to show emotions or, or be like a nurturing caregiver, but there's a lot of men out there that are teachers, in elementary schools and high schools and colleges and stuff. And you have to be able to tap into that side of you that it may not be considered a very masculine thing, like, but you are as a teacher, you're an educator, you're a caregiver, you're the person who a lot of these children spend most of their time with, so that takes that's the feminine, or what's considered quote unquote that feminine energy, like that that caring, supportive nature, being in tune to your emotions and allowing people to express their emotions to you, and just those types of things. And the same thing as a female as well. So don't be afraid to speak up, even when it's not, a feeling of anger. If it's something that you feel satiated in, or you're happy about something, or something makes you want to tear up because you're so happy, and just go for it. I think that most women, or most people that are, especially high vibe people, can really appreciate in this day and age anyone who is able to be that vulnerable and to show what they're really thinking and feeling. So don't be afraid to nourish that and appreciate it. Don't look at it as if you're considered like a sensitive guy or a sensitive female. That it just means that, you care, and there's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to walk around, just being angry and ranty and what's the word, offensive all the time, or defensive all the time. But anyways, I hope that made sense. I feel like I'm rambling now. I'm beyond the 34-minute mark, going into 36 minutes, so I'll just shut up. But thank you so much for being here, Virgo. I hope you got something out of this. This is my third video. No, I'm sorry. This will be my fourth video posting on here. So I really, and again, like I've mentioned, I feel like I'm being redundant, but I'm saying it on different videos. But as my channel grows, you know, things will become a lot more cohesive and cognizant. Me trying to detach myself from this recording aspect of this video is a bit challenging because I'm just not used to it. I don't even have social media really. I'm a very introverted person. So but yeah, I mean, I am very honed in. Don't get me wrong. I'm tuned in, but for a person that is not used to, you know, like the social media aspect of things, or like taking pictures and recording videos and stuff like that, it's a new type of thing for me. So doing something that I really love to do, which is, you know, reading tarot, and then compiling that with something that I'm not familiar with at all, which is, you know, like being a content creator and stuff like that, it's going to take a little time, but trust me, I'm going to get there. So if it feels a little rambly or just, like I said, not cohesive or cognizant, just trust me that it will improve in time. Thank you so much for your time and your support, and I do look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.